Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow! 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 Ow!
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. And that includes our new members who may be enjoying us for the first time, wherever you may be and wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be, yet there you are. And I am here in my office where it's November 16th and 51 degrees. Well, let me take that back. It's 70 degrees, and no humidity in my office. But on the other side of this wall, it is 51 degrees with zero humidity and even less humility. Why do I need to be humble? Lord have mercy. So there's no humidity, less humility, and zero chance of rain. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful day out here. It's the kind of day to get some yard work done. However, there is a slight chance for you coffee drinkers and you beef eaters and you tropical fruit lovers that there could be some relief for you. There's a chance. We don't know. Sorry if you use any of the other 119,000 products that are in the supermarket. But as long as you got your coffee and your beef, not all beef, just some beef, like maybe the tips, but not the bone. See, we don't know. We have to wait for the madman. We have to wait for the madman in D.C. to decide what he's going to pull out of his hat or wherever he's pulling it. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, OBS, MCM, and I'm going to stop saying OBS because I don't even think I need it anymore. I'm going to find out. I'll find out this week. People have also called me the Racy Reverend, the Pervert Pastor, the Vile Vulgar Vicar of Vice, the Sexy Shepherd, and you know why. You can see with your own eyes. The missionary man, the minister of mischief, the wicked witness, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky friar, the ass man abbot, the colored cleric, the booty banging brother, the handsy high priest, Father Fistness, the wicked, I like to watch witness, the holy hoe, the divine dominating dominee, the depraved preacher, the tickle me theologian, the minister of making love. And you have to take my word for it on that take my wife's word for it. Take my wife's words for it, please. The clergy of cunning conversation while eating pussy, and that nasty N-word. The point is that I come by many names and by many methods, and I do not come easy. So, brothers and sisters, hello, Sister Swan on Twitch, and hello, Sunshine, Sister Sunshine. Yes, indeed. As we say, good day, sunshine, and good day, Sister Ann out of California. Yes, indeed. Lord have mercy. We got some of the sisters. The sisters are doing it for themselves today. That's right. There's another word for that, but it escapes my mind right now. At any rate, here's the point. Let us begin. Let us begin in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah? Oh my goodness. I can get a fuck yeah, but you know something? I lost my producer. Oh my God, he slipped out. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. There is a fuck yeah in there somewhere. Fuck yeah! Oh shit. My producer is back, and he missed the fuck yeah. That's right. He must. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again because you gotta have the fuck yes. That's the only reason why people watch. So let us begin again. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Soon as he wakes up. Soon as he wakes up, he's probably looking for the fuck yeah right now. He's like, oh, fuck yeah! Me? I knew he'd find it. I knew he'd find it. It was probably in his other pocket. It was in his other pocket. Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's right. You can also type in the fuck yes. Yes, you can. You can type in the fuck yes. Now it works. It works. Yes, indeed. It is time for our opening prayers, sponsored by Tantally. And if you need an opening, Tantally has your opening needs. And if you or someone you know is in need of a prayer by the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your requests for prayer or healing or forgiveness or any such requests to me at drrevjellyroll@gmail.com. The way you see it, if you're watching, it's scrolling across the bottom right there. It's scrolling across the bottom right there. See, I'm pointing there because I can also point there because I can see it there and there. You can't. So I'm just saying where it is across the bottom. And please, please remember to spell roll with an E on the end. Okay, drrevjellyrolle@gmail.com. Okay, don't forget to at gmail.com. Otherwise, I won't deliver it. No, indeed. No. So please spell it correctly, because if you don't, some other jelly roll is going to wind up with your prayer or your request. And I can't be held responsible for the things that I am not responsible for, like other people's emails. Yes. It's the same damn next thing. Broken bastard. What? I'm sorry. I have on my glass. Sorry, damn texting bastard broke me. Why am I writing that to myself? Okay, I got it. Here we go. Brothers and sisters, now for our disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, and all of them are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. And when I say may, I also mean November and December and January. Those loopholes do apply. It's just not at 131 day period, there's loopholes. No, they're year round, 24/7, 365. And on leap years, 365, 366 and a half or something like that. So brothers and sisters, please bow your head like so. Unless you're driving your car or your significant other. And if that's the case, just close your eyes, close them, and let Jesus do the driving while we pray. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Lenny Wilkins. Lenny Wilkins, a 3-time inductee into the Basketball Hall of Fame, who was enshrined as both a player and a coach, has died. He was 88. The family said Wilkins was surrounded by loved ones when he died. And I'm always suspicious of that, okay? The family said he was surrounded by loved ones. Like, the family didn't say we were there. The family didn't say we were there. They said some loved ones were there. We weren't there because we didn't love them. That's how it sounds. Like, I couldn't bother to be there, so I sent in my surrogate lovers. Loved ones. Surrogate loved ones. Okay? Wilkins' cause of death is, and say it with me, undisclosed. That's right. Yet another celebrity killed by undisclosed disease. We must find a cure. We keep losing too many people to undisclosed disease. My God, it's becoming an epidemic. Every week, we have at least 2 celebrities die from undisclosed disease. Are we not going to do something about it? When will we do it? You know what's going to happen? It's going to come for you, and you won't be able to do anything about it, because the chance you had to do something about it is now while you can do something about it. Because once you get undisclosed disease, it looks like nobody ever recovers from it. For decades, the preposition, not the number, for decades, so that's FOR. 4 decades, again, the preposition, not the number, Wilkins stood as the calm heartbeat of Seattle sports. The 9-time NBA All-Star and one of the league's most successful coaches, was renowned for his humility, wisdom, and love for the game that shaped generations. Now, like in current days, now you can be a complete asshole as long as you win. He guided the Seattle Supersonics to their only championship in 1979. And I would tell you the roster, because I looked it up, but guess what? I don't even know any of those fuckers' names. There's not one famous person on that roster. So he did it the old-fashioned way. Coaching and to stick-to-itiveness. Stick to it. They played hard. Yes, indeed. They played hard. Or everybody else played soft. And it was easy to tell back then because the shorts were real tight and real short. So you can tell who played hard and who played soft. There was no secret. You could tell. There was basketball in the 70s, tight shorts and all. More. I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't know I was going to say that. That's not written down for me to say. Moreover, across a career spanning more than 4 decades, the number, not the preposition, he coached a record 2,487 NBA games and became the first coach, black or white, to record 1,000 wins. Now, if there were other coaches to win 1,000 games before him, they didn't record them. So it's their loss. If you don't record your wins, that's your loss. He became a Hall of Famer as a player, as a coach, and again as part of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team, on which he was an assistant. Wilkins coached the Americans to gold at the Atlanta Games as well as in 1996. That doesn't make sense. The Atlanta Games were in 1996. I know. I got a souvenir. I got souvenir basketball shorts from What the fuck? Somebody doesn't know how to cut and paste right. Rest in peace, Lenny. The way you killed on the court is also undisclosed. Nobody remembers how well you played, except for the Hall of Fame. Undisclosed is killing everything. Can I get a no flash and all pan? That's right. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Paul Tagliabue. And if he had been a black coach, if he had been black, it'd have been Paul Jigglyaboo. Sorry. Paul Tagliabue, former NFL commissioner, has died. He was 84. His cause of death was apparent heart failure. And I did not think parenting only one child could give you apparent heart failure. Apparently, I was wrong. Tagliabue also had Parkinson's disease, but that didn't kill him. It would have if his heart wasn't such a quitter. If his heart kept beating, then Parkinson's would have killed him eventually. Tagliabue oversaw the construction of a myriad of new stadiums and negotiated television contracts that added billions of dollars to the league's bank account. What they're saying is he made some motherfuckers rich. Or he made some rich motherfuckers richer. That's what they're saying. They don't want to put it like that. But I'm telling you, it like that. Under him, there were no labor stoppages. Okay? It doesn't mean that players were happy or that they weren't bitching. Come on. They're players. You know they were bitching. They're like going to the bank, got there, said, you gotta cash this check for $400 million, please. Got me working like a slave out there, practicing 7 days a year or 7 days a week or whatever. Damn it, got me working real hard. But they just kept playing through it. They bitched, but they kept playing through it. No stoppages. No stoppages. Tagliabue implemented a policy on substance abuse that was considered the strongest in all major sports. He also established the Rooney Rule, in which all teams with coaching vacancies must interview minority candidates. Don't say a damn thing about hiring. It has since been expanded to include front office and league executive positions. This led to the first DEI coach in 1989. Prior to that, coaching hires were based on nepotism. And when he took office in 1989, the NFL had just hired its first black head coach of the modern era. Do you know who it is? Do you know who it is? Come on, say it with me. I don't know. All right. By the time Tagliabue stepped down in 2006, there were 7 minority head coaches in the league. Can you name them? I cannot. Rest in peace, Paul. Of all of the white NFL commissioners, you were one of them. Can I get an old boys network? Dear Lord, please bless Sister Betty Harford. Dynasty icon Betty Harford has died. She was 98. The actress died peacefully with family at her side. You see how they wrote that? Peacefully with family at her side. Not the family said loved ones were there. See, that's how you write it. Let people know who was at the body when they found it. And again, undisclosed disease. Yes, another victim of undisclosed disease. Harford memorably played Mrs. Nottingham, John Houseman's secretary on The Paper Chase in 78 and 79, and Mrs. Gunnarsson, the Carrington family cook on Dynasty from 1981 to 1989. She also returned for the 1991 reunion miniseries because A Good Family Cook is hard to find. Additionally, she had TV credits in shows like The Twilight Zone, Gunsmoke, and The Alfred Hitchcock Hour. It's funny that, never mind. I had a Hitchcock joke and I forgot to, I don't remember it now. Insert your own Hitchcock joke. Movie-wise, Harford was best known for The Wild and the Innocent, 1959, and as Gloria, the sister of Natalie Wood's character in Inside Daisy Clover. And to my surprise, it's not a porn. Just like I was surprised to learn Driving Miss Daisy was not a porn. But I regress. She also appeared in Signpost to Murder, Win, Place, or Steal, and Spartacus. I think she was one of the many Spartaci at the end of the movie. I don't remember. Rest in peace, Betty. You were in Dynasty without becoming one. Can I get a pushing up and not pushing in, Daisy? Dear Lord, please bless Cleto Escobedo the third. Yes, right, the third. The first 2 didn't take. Cleto Escobedo the third, the band leader for Jimmy Kimmel Live, has died. He was 59. According to official reports and his death certificate, the immediate cause of death was identified as cardiogenic shock, a serious condition in which the heart suddenly cannot pump enough blood to meet the body's needs. And this was reportedly connected to health complications stemming from a previous liver transplant procedure he had undergone. And remember this for later, about 3 sentences from now. Additionally, the document cited underlying causes as vasodilatory shock, or blood vessel dilation. So why am I saying dilatory if it's dilation? Vasodilatory? No, that doesn't sound right. That's why I got to say dilatory. Even if it's wrong, it sounds better. Okay? It's like moaning during sex. It may be wrong, but it sounds better. Okay. Also, disseminated intravascular coagulation. I think that's when there's no sperm in your blood, right? Disseminated. That's when the semen's been removed. Right. The semen's been removed from your blood, is not clogging. Disseminated intravascular coagulation, which is blood clotting that clots blood flow to organs. Okay, I was wrong. The blood-related conditions weren't the only health issues named in this certificate. Alcoholic cirrhosis or advanced liver damage caused by excessive long-term alcohol consumption. Now, this was also considered. This was also determined to be a contributing factor in his passing. Now, remember I told you about the transplant? Okay. How is this possible? Didn't he just had a liver transplant? So they're not going to give you a liver that's already sclerosis, right? They're not going to do that, cirrhosis. They're not going to give you a cirrhosis liver. They're going to give you a good liver, or at least a half of a good liver, part of a good liver. They're going to do something. They're going to try to make you whole and healthy. So how much fucking alcohol was he drinking that he already has cirrhosis of the new liver? All right? That's all I'm saying. They either gave him a cirrhosis liver, or the motherfucker just didn't know how to stop drinking. Escobedo also had sepsis, graft versus host disease, immunosuppressed chronic kidney disease, and pneumonia. Apparently, the only thing he didn't have was a fighting chance. Rest in peace, Cleto. I am not surprised that you died at 59. I'm surprised that you lived the first 58. Can I get a new liver without alcoholic cirrhosis? Damn. Dear Lord, please bless Sister Sally Kirkland. Sally Kirkland, the Academy Award nominated actress who once appeared on Days of Our Lives as Tracy Simpson, has died. She was 84. The acclaimed performer, whose career spanned more than 6 decades, passed away in Palm Springs, California, after battling dementia and entering hospice care earlier this year. And the problem with battling dementia is you have to remember to keep fighting. Because if you stop fighting dementia, if you forget to fight dementia, you'll be gone. A GoFundMe campaign was established on Sally's behalf by friends of Sally in November of 2024, just a year ago. The fundraising page revealed that Sally had been unable to afford medical expenses after SAG-AFTRA eliminated supplemental insurance coverage for members age 65 and older in 2021. What the fund? The only reason comedians become actors is for the insurance. And if you take away that, why the fuck are they going to become actors? Sally's acting career, which began in the 1960s, has spanned over 250 film and TV projects, including notable roles in A Star is Born in 1976, Charlie's Angels, 79-81, JFK, 1991, and Valley of the Dolls, and to my surprise, not about sex dolls built in Silicon Valley. She gained significant recognition for her lead role in the 1987 indie comedy drama Anna, earning an Oscar nomination for Best Actress and winning a Golden Globe for Best Tatas. Even later in life, Sally remained active in the industry with recent credits such as 80s for Brady, 2023, Sallywood, 2024, and the short film Cali, 2025. And according to IMDb, she has 5 upcoming projects. So I don't know what they mean, because she obviously isn't going to be finishing any new projects or starting any new projects. So I'm assuming that these 5 projects have already been shot and they're in post-production. Right? That's how that works. Now, wait a second. see, she was still working, and SAG-AFTRA eliminated her supplemental insurance. And I'm willing to bet she was still paying into it. That's fucked up. Damn. She was being treated like a stand-up comic. She was. Oh, well, never mind. Rest in peace, Sally. You can rest assured. You can rest assured, even if not insured. Can I get a doll from the valley? And finally, Lord. Oh, no, not finally. Not finally. This is the magic of November. There are so many people in my life who have birthdays like this weekend. And I can't do a full-blown thing for all of them. I just want to mention Mark Shelton. He turned some age. Hannah Dope. Mark Shelton just graduated from college, I think a year or two ago. And he's like, I don't know how old he is. Hannah Dobek, artist extraordinaire, and friend of the family. I know her age, but you never tell a lady's age. Then there's my brother in arms, Scott McCartney. He's McCarthy. Damn it. We've been through so much shit together. I mean, he was my ride or die when we were working in the field together. Happy birthday, Scott. And David Yakeley. David Yakeley, you probably know that name from Funny Old Farts. He's the opener in Funny Old Farts. His birthday is actually tomorrow, but I'm doing this today because he is much older than me and may not make it till tomorrow. So this way I can say that I already said it. So happy birthday, David. Love you. You know I do. You know I respect you. And finally, please bless the entire behind the scenes staff. You know the beautiful thing about November, though. You know and if you have 10 friends, chances are 6 of them are born in November, because it takes 9 months for a baby to be born, and 9 months before November, you got February, and February is a cold fucking month in the upper half of the world globe, and it has Valentine's Day, which, there's going to be a lot of people opening up boxes on Valentine's Day and eating chocolate. And of course, that leads to a baby in November. So if you have 10 friends, 6 of them are Scorpios or November babies. And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind the scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. They are truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, but they are here, except for like about a minute or so. Yeah! Yes, they are here wishing that they were anywhere else today. Yes, indeed. So that ought to count for something. So minddogtv.com/merch, the place to go to get your Church of Last Resort gear, your Coffee with the Dog gear, your Mind Dog TV gear, and all of that gear. If you have a gear, you can get it there. If you have a truck that's missing a gear, like you go from 2nd to 4th, and you don't have a 3rd gear, you can buy a 3rd gear at minddogtv.com at reasonable prices while they last. Now, let's have a little bump for the Lord. And this bump for the Lord is sponsored by Stella Rosa Original Green Apple Semi-Sweet Wine. And I can tell you right now, this will not be the bump next week, because I'm going to go through this tonight, right now. So a little bump for the Lord. Amen. So next week, there'll be a different bumping. And if you want your bump, if you want to be a bump on the Lord or something like that, send me your liquor bottle Preferably one that won't rot out my gut so I don't wind up like Escobedo. I don't want to wind up like that. So send me something nice and mild, something that's not going to cirrhose my liver. And you too can be the bump on the Lord. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So, whoo. And then with George Carlin, Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah, yeah. Fuck yeah. Thank you. Wow. Woo, Lordy. Yes. Now, before I go on with today's sermon, the Looking for God in All the Wrong Places segment, I want to let people know out there, if you are out there and you have a talent that you want people to know about, if you have a book you want people to know about, if you have a skill you want people to know about, if you have a show you want people to know about, you could be on Coffee with the Dog Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Not the whole time. You'll get a segment, okay? You get a segment. And my spokesperson, Sister Curly Hair So Bright, is going to tell you all about it.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
Fall and winter.
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
Thank you, Sister Curly Hair So Bright. She's a wonderful addition to the family. She's been with us for a very long time, and she diligently reminds people that you can matter, and your matter is something. Blah 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 blah. According to Sister Curly Hair So Bright. So you too can be on Coffee with the Dog, is what she's saying, right? Yes. Now, brothers and sisters, in today's segment of Looking for God in All the Wrong Places, we are going to look at The Voice by the Moody Blues. This was on their Long Distance Voyager album, 1981. Okay, now a little background, just a little bit of background. When Hayward wrote the song, The Voice, he wrote it from a very vulnerable place. So whenever we're looking at these lyrics of these songs, we also have to take in mind the message that they are trying to put out there, but also where the message is coming from. Like where in their life, where in their body, where in their soul, where in their mind, the place that they are, where is it coming from? And for him, for Justin Hayward, he was very vulnerable, and it was a very challenging time in his life. Justin Hayward wrote, "The Voice as a reflection of the internal struggles he was dealing with, as well as their resolution." And with that in mind, let's see how the message in the song that was originally called Fat Arthur conveyed Hayward's inner turmoil. And you'll say, wait a minute, how did Fat Arthur become the voice? Funny you should ask that. I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. It was a mistake. See, they had just finished recording The Voice, but they didn't have a title for the song. And so they were like labeling the tapes, they were labeling the tapes, and the sound guy goes, what do we call, what's the song called? And Justin Hayward didn't have a title for it. So he yells, "I'll think of that after." And somehow I think of that after the guy with the tape and the pen and the stuff writes Fat Arthur, because that's what he heard. And so up until the day they sent the tape off to be mastered, it was called Fat Arthur. And it just so happened, no one paid attention to it. The guy who sold the tape, he goes, this is like he knows what the song is. He goes, do you want this title still, Fat Arthur? And they're like, whoa, what the fuck? No. And so Justin Hayward thought about it. He goes, The Voice, because it's like prevalent in the song. So now you know about that. And you can Google me, don't Google me in front of my wife. She'll kick your ass. But you can Google me for $5. I'll let you Google me, as long as she's not watching. But it's pretty close. Okay. Now, the song starts off like this, okay? Patrick Moretz is on keyboards, but it starts off, the first verse. Won't you take me back to school? I need to learn the golden rule, okay? Won't you lay it on the line? I need to hear it just one more time. That is the first verse. So, won't you take me back to school? I need to learn the golden rule. Now, basically, we can look at the golden rule from like two different places. Most people, when they think of the golden rule, they think of the version in Christianity, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That is what most people think of as the golden rule. But also, in law, the golden rule states that when the language of a statute is unclear, courts should interpret it in a way that avoids absurd or untenable outcomes. And the reason why I mention both of those is because when it says, won't you take me back to school? Okay, he'd learned this, but he forgot how to practice it. Okay, and that's why I brought up both versions. Do unto others as you have them do unto you, but also whatever rules you know about, whatever laws you know, interpret it. If it's not clear, interpret it in a way that's going to do the least amount of harm. Okay, those two things. Because remember, he was also in a business. Music is a business. And this is what the source of his depression and his confusion and his vulnerability was from the music. Because their previous album didn't do well. Okay? And then their keyboard player quit, or they lost their keyboard player. They got replaced with Patrick Moretz. My God. But they lost their keyboard player. The album was not doing well. And Moody Blues they were a very talented group. But the last album didn't do well, and you're only as good as your last success in the music industry. So he was a little bit depressed, and he just like lost his direction. It's like, I don't know, what am I doing here? Do I still need to be writing music? And then so he wrote this. And it says, I want you to lay it on the line. I need to hear it just one more time. Okay. Again, it's like, remind me, why am I doing this? Remind me of my rules. Remind me. Okay. Because I forgot the real reason I'm doing this. So remind me. And see, the next verse. Won't you tell me again? Can you feel it? Won't you tell me again tonight? Now, why tonight? I associate that with the quiet time. When you're at night, when your mind should be quieted down and you get to block out all the other things, and you can now hear those things. Don't try to tell me all this stuff while I'm busy during the daytime. I'm too busy. I can't hear it. I can't pay attention. I know you want to tell me something, but I just can't pay attention. So wait till tonight, or when my mind is quiet, okay? When I'm like thoughtful and prayer-like, or meditation-like, or in my dreams, okay? When it's quiet, then remind me. Bring it on. It continues. Each and every heart, it seems, is bounded by a world of dreams. And each and every rising sun is greeted by the lonely one. Now, it's at night, when we sleep, when we dream, the things that are truly in our heart can come to pass in that world. Okay, those things, that's what's in the heart, they're bounded into that world of dreams. Okay, they are bounded there. And once you take them out of the world of dreams, or once the world of dreams stops, they're no longer bounded. Because in the cold light of day, when the world of dreams is put to bed, so to say, so to speak, so to hear, so to my oar. In the light of day, it slaps us in the face. Says, I don't know what you were dreaming about, but this is reality, bitch. What you were dreaming about ain't gonna be so easy. Up here, there's different rules. So you're alone again. See, each and every rising sun is greeted by the lonely one. You're alone now. And all that shit, all the beautiful stuff that was in the dreams, when you can fly, when you can float, when you wake up and you're a millionaire and you got all this money to spend because your money problem's on the way, or you're standing in front of people, you're a comedian, you have a whole room full of people to comede to, and you're naked, can't get better than that. Yes, indeed, it can't get better than that. Standing naked in front of a bunch of people in the audience. Those are the dreams to have and hold. It continues. Oh, won't you tell me again? Oh, can you feel it? Oh, won't you tell me again tonight? And then he says, tonight, again, the second time. Emphasis. That's why he repeats it. The sense of urgency. Tonight. You know. Then the next line, beautiful, beautifully written, and so troubling at the same time. It continues. Cause out on the ocean of life, my love, there's so many storms we must rise above. Can you hear the spirit calling as it's carried across the waves? Oh, yes, indeed. The symbology, water. Water represents emotions, and not just emotions, but also a torrent of power. The ocean is so powerful. Okay, it's a powerful force both in nature and in the supernatural. So, because when he says, out on the oceans of life, my love, okay, there's so many storms we must rise above. There's so many songs and poems that talk about how powerful the ocean is and challenging. Okay, Titanic, Iliad and the Odyssey, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Jaws, all of them show you how powerful the ocean is. And he's saying, and above all that power out there, you know, listen, can you hear the spirit calling as it's carried across the waves? We know the Titanic is sinking, but there's something out there calling. You know, Iliad and Odyssey, there's sirens saying, crash your ship. We're going to get to that, okay? Because there's two sounds coming across the waves at times. There is the siren song, which says, you're going to crash. And then there's the sound of true guidance that says, yes, the ship is sinking. Yeah, the storm is bad, but there is a way out. Ever so slight, but a way. It continues. You're already falling. Yes, you're already falling. And it's calling you back to face the music and the song that is coming through. You're already falling. The one that it's calling is you. Yes, it's you. Okay. He's saying you're already falling. What have you got to lose? Okay, it's not like if you don't listen to the voice, you're going to stop falling. No, you're already falling. Okay, so let's try to find. Let's land. Let's try to land softly. You're falling, and if you're falling, you're going to hit. So let's see where we're going to hit. Are you going to hit something soft? Like a plus size model, or you going to hit something hard, like one of those little thin, skinny models, well, little bony thing. I'm aiming for the plus size model. Something soft. And it's calling you back to face the music, okay? The voice, all right? The voice is calling you back to face the music, okay? And when in life, when people tell you to face the music, they're saying, face up to what you've done. Admit it. Face the consequences. The deeds and all deeds have consequences, okay? So face the music. And the song that is coming through, okay, the music is the deeds, and the song that is coming through are the consequences. So you gotta listen, hear, and heed. That's right. I don't know what that means, but I wrote it down, and it's supposed to mean something to me. Doesn't ring a bell. Nope, not one bell being rung. So again, it's that voice. Okay, now, Justin Hayward, thus far, has not identified the source of the voice. He hasn't done that. He leaves that up to people to decide if that voice is God or God. No, that doesn't say. Not yet. Not yet. But it continues. Make a promise. Take a vow and trust your feelings. It's easy now. Understand the voice within and feel a change already beginning. Okay, now I'm just going to let you know on a personal note that I do not like promises or vows. I think that's setting you up for failure, just like resolutions, New Year's resolutions. Don't do them, don't practice them, don't believe in them. Well, I believe they exist, not for me, okay? But like I said, I'm not big on promises or vows, but this is not my song. So, but in this case, the vow, the promise is to listen to yourself, okay? Trust that inner voice. Now, depending on how much wine to drink, you may have heard a burp just now. And if you did, excuse me, if you didn't hear it, what burp? So, sometimes, okay, now it says trust that inner voice. In some cultures, okay, that inner voice comes from like the highest chakra, the monad, okay, the God spark that's in you, okay, that in theory, that when God made all the little peoples, there's like a little God DNA sprinkled in there, okay, and that little God DNA can be like hacked, okay, and it lets you hear the voice directly instead of going through somebody else to hear the voice for you. So it says trust it, okay, trust that inner voice, trust it. But also, sometimes that inner voice is not the divine guidance, but it's actually the voice of experience as well. Give you a good example. When we were children, we little lads, we didn't have a lot of experience to rely on. So the voice of reason and the voice of experience came through those older than us. I'm not saying it was good. I'm not saying good. I don't want to hear about quality. I'm just talking about sources now. Came from people who had seen shit that you hadn't seen yet. And so if you're outside with your dad and he says, don't piss on that electric fence, okay? He's telling you not to do it. voice of experience, because when he was little, his brother thought it was funny and told him to piss on the electric fence, and he did. Okay. And so the father saying, don't you do that. Now, if you do it, that's fine. That's on you. But that voice said, don't do it. And then once you do it, now you got two voices. You got the voice from the father who said, don't do that. And now you got the voice of experience saying, don't do that again. Okay. Two different voices, but they kind of guide you in the same direction at times. Okay. So sometimes that voice is an external source of guidance, and sometimes that voice is experience. You've seen that shit before. You know, it's like if you're a young lady and you're in a bar and some guy tries to pick you up and you hear him talking and you go, ooh, I heard that kind of voice before. That guy is desperate and he's a perv and he can't be trusted. And he's the kind of guy that would, don't take no for an answer. And sometimes it's because you've been there before. You've been there. You've seen it. You've heard it. You know the creepiness. And now that guy there has that same creepy vibe. And that little voice in your head is saying, ooh, creep alert, creep alert, creep alert. Okay? Sometimes the voice is the voice of experience. Sometimes the voice is high power. But doesn't matter where it came from, because once that's inside of you, it's up to you to trust it. It's up to you to trust that inner voice. Once it becomes your voice, you trust it. And that's what he's saying. He's saying, listen to yourself and trust it. Okay? Now, Hayward concludes the bridge with the message that the one that is calling is you. It's not until the third and final verse that he divulges what the Spirit is telling him. It turns out the guidance Hayward indeed needed did not come from a voice out in the distance. It came from within himself. However, okay, yeah. And this is where it ties into looking for God in all the wrong places. If you are a Bible person, and some of you are, there's in the Old Testament, someone's looking for God and listening for God and saying, I didn't hear you. There's like thunder and lightning. And God says, I'm not in the thunder. I'm not in the lightning. I'm not in the storm. I am in the gentleness of the breeze. Okay. The quiet. That's where you hear me, in the quiet. Sometimes things are so turbulent, like the oceans are so rough. The voice is out there, but you can't hear it because of the crashing of the waves and this body experiencing so much stuff. So you have to wait until it's quiet. Wait until tonight. The metaphorical tonight. I'm not saying if you're in trouble right now, you go, oh shit, I don't know what to do. I'm going to sleep on this while that train is heading this direction. No, I'm saying quiet yourself. Immediately quiet yourself and you'll know what to do to get out of that situation. Now, it's kind of like Wizard of Oz. I think some of you know what that is. And I'm not talking about Wicked. I'm talking about Wicked, talking about the Wizard of Oz. Because my wife and I gave enough to that franchise a few years ago. We went to see it on Broadway in New York. It was good. It was good. But in the Wizard of Oz, the one written by Frank Baum, Dorothy had the power to go home the whole time, but she didn't realize it because she was busy doing all these other things, busy. Now, some of those things were very good things. She's trying to help the Scarecrow. She's trying to help the Lion. She's trying to help the Tin Man, and she's trying to help whoever else she's trying to help. Well, she kind of freed the monkeys, even though she wasn't trying to help the monkeys. She freed them. She wasn't really trying to help the city of Oz, but she did it when she killed the witch, but that was like they didn't expect her to make it back. They didn't expect her to come back with the broom. It was like, oh, fuck. So there. She had the power to go home all the time. She just had to have it quiet. Find that quiet. So it ends. Oh, won't you tell me again? Oh, oh, can you feel it? Oh, oh, won't you tell me again tonight? And then it repeats it again and adds another tonight and says, and how many words have I got to say? And how many times will it be this way? With your arms around the future and your back up against the past. Mm-mm-mm. On this same album is a song called 22,000. Yeah, it's called 22,000. It's by the drummer Graham Edge. And it's based on this research. He just recently learned like the average human being lives 23,927 days. A limited number of days. And he decided that, well, the first few years you're pretty much useless as a person. And your last few years, if you live long enough, you're pretty much useless as a person. So you probably got like a good 22,000 days in there. You know, so that was his assessment. I'm not saying yes, yay or nay. Okay. I'm just saying that's his assessment. But the point is that there's a limit. And he's saying don't waste them. And Justin Hayward saying the same thing. How many words have I got to say? There's a limit. At one point, you're going to have your last word. You're going to, whatever it is, before you leave this mortal coil, you're going to have your last word. And that will be the limit. However many words it was, whatever that number is, that's how many you have to say. And how many times you're going to feel that way? Well, it's up to that moment. The last time. Okay? But it says, with your arms around the future and your back up against the past. Now, you're not going to go in two directions at one time. Okay? If your arms around the future, you got to go with the future. If you lean on the past, lean on it for experience. Don't hold on to it. Okay? Just let it be a support, a place where you've learned your lessons. But now hold on to the future and go into it. Yes, I was about to make a tax joke about Intuit, but I decided not to. And it finally says, you're already falling. It's calling you to face the music and the song that is coming through. You're already falling. The one that is calling is you. Okay? And then it goes back. It says, each and every heart it seems is bounded by a world of dreams, and each and every rising sun is greeted by a lonely one. Okay? We've already gone through that. We know what that means. It says, won't you tell me again? Oh, oh, can you feel it? Oh, oh, won't you tell me again tonight? Tonight. Now, between the changes occurring, the song ends. Won't you tell me again tonight? When it's quiet. Now, between the changes occurring both within and outside of the Moody Blues, Hayward felt disoriented. And this is how he went about expressing those feelings. A lot of this I referenced from the footnotes of the book, the story of Long Distance Voyagers, the story of the Moody Blues, Volume 2, 1980 to 2018. Okay, and in that book, Hayward wrote, I didn't feel I had a lot of things in common with a lot of things that were going on around me. I felt apart from it. And he says, I was kind of expressing those insecurities. So, brothers and sisters, I thank you. That is our conclusion of our examination of The Voice by the Moody Blues. Do not know what we're looking at next week. Have no idea. Now, this is the last show I'm doing before the 20th. The last show, not the last show. I'm trying to promote Funny Old Farts. G.D. Fenderson has a show on the 20th at Hanover, Pennsylvania, but you can also watch it on plausible.com/GD Fenderson, $5 per device. So please take advantage of that. Check out that show. And brothers and sisters, before I close, Sorry. Before I close, I just want to thank those of you who subscribe to my fledgling YouTube and Facebook pages under Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. Bless you all. You're also invited to check out gigsalad.com/GD Fenderson. The next time you need to hire a comedian for a private event on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Amona Roll, my kids Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our cat Tootsie, and our dog Stop Dropping. I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time on My Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. Thank you all for joining me, all you brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. It means so much to me to know that there are people out there who are out there being people. So in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah, y'all. Fuck yeah!